Hi there, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Khaki.
And we are sisters, business partners, and shocker, best friends.
This is our podcast, Two Sisters in Business. We'll let you decide who's older.
We hope you'll join us while we talk about what it's like to work with your sister, to be a mom, and run a family business.
So listen to us in the pickup line at school or while you're having your morning coffee.
We want you to be inspired to start that side hustle, escape the stresses of the day, and most importantly, laugh along the way.
Find us at Spotify, Apple, or wherever your podcasts are found.
And in case you're wondering, I'm the oldest. We hope you'll join Khaki and me. This is Two Sisters in Business. Welcome to Two Sisters in Business with Khaki and Lauren. And today we have a really special guest. Krista LeRay is with us from Linn. Krista, let us know your title for the audience.
Yeah, owner, founder, HBIC, whatever works.
Perfect. I love it. Okay.
Sometimes I go by Penny
Welcome,
too.
Krista.
So.
Yeah. Welcome,
This is so
Krista.
exciting.
But we're very excited to have Krista on today. We can't wait to deep dive on all things needlepoint and your background and your career. Mm-hmm. And mainly, I would also love a little mini lesson, a virtual lesson on needlepointing and all things of this viral hobby / trend right now that is everywhere. So first, I want to just kick off and thank you as being one of our original influencers who supported Dudley Stevens.
Yeah, I mean, almost 10 years ago.
Yes.
I forget when we first started working together, but you were definitely one of our first supporters.
You were.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
When you first started
crazy.
being an influencer too, which I would love to first start talking about that because you first started working in the sports world, which we have a history in the sports world too, with our dad working in sports marketing and working at some of the leagues. MLB, I think you have a strong history starting your career at. So tell us a little bit about that and how you transitioned from that into influencing and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I started my blog actually in college. I worked at like a little boutique called Bluetique. I went to University of Kentucky. So we sold like a lot of like game day cute stuff. And I remember like posting on Instagram like new outfits that I made from the store. And a girl who, Brinley, she was much more ahead of the time. She was like, blogs are gonna be the next big thing. I was like, okay. And so I just like started a blog in college and it was literally like, it was called Serious Southern Shopaholic. So it was like really cool.
Yeah.
And I would literally just like talk about like what I'm wearing to class or what I'm wearing to game day. And that blog helped me get my job at MLB. I remember I went down to Nashville for the winter meetings and I met with one of the guys who like ran the social department. And I was like, look, like I have this experience like building a platform and, you know, I think I had like maybe 5,000 followers at the time. I was like, but look at this. And that was like a big deal.
I was back
in,
then was probably big. Yeah.
I agree. Back then that was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, look, I have experience and like I'm hungry and I'll do whatever. And he basically was like, when you graduate, like you can come work part-time. And like their social media department had just kind of started. Mm-hmm. So there was like no rules. And it was so interesting because the way the league was structured at the time, it was like the commissioner's office was over here, the network, and then there was .com, which I kind of like tell people that it was basically a startup with the backing of like the full league. So a startup with unlimited money. And there was like, we were off doing our own thing. There was kind of no rules. And it was like crazy. Playing by the seat of our pants. And he offered me a job at a bar in Nashville. Like that's like how casual it was. And I was like, I will be there.
Yeah.
And that's really how I got started. I remember I graduated in May and I moved there and started working June 1st in 2013. And I was working like game shifts. So I came in at 6 p.m. and I left at 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Because all the games started like 7 on the East Coast, but they go really late because of West Coast time. So we would get out like 2 a.m.
in the office on those hours, or were you going to the games, or you were in the office?
No, we were like in the office. So we were like live tweeting. Like I would tweet like a Yankees Twins game, be you know, bottom of the first, 1-0. It's like really exciting. It's just like so weird to like think that that's like what we did. But we so the league owns all 30 clubs. We worked with Octagon a bunch to like sell sponsorships. So like they would come in and, you know, we would sell X, Y, and Z, but they would own the rights to all 30 clubs. So we would like help them tweet. We would help their site. We would help ticketing, like not me specifically, but like the .com arm of the league. Mm-hmm. And it was great too, because it was like I could sleep in the morning. I could spend like the day on my rooftop. I could take photos for the blog. And then I would go in and work at night, and it's New York pre-COVID and everything was open till 4. So you would just like go out after work.
Yeah. Right.
Crazy time.
Right.
Those days.
And you were young, so you could handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Waking up
Literally.
wasn't so hard the next day.
Right.
That's so cool. And
That's
like
amazing.
somebody has to do that on Twitter, I guess. So like why not?
I mean, social media, like people are awake at all times, and
Yeah.
social media is live at all times. So
That's so cool. That's awesome. So how many years did you do that with MLB?
I was there, I think, for 6 years, maybe 7 years.
Wow. Oh my
2013 to 2018.
Oh, that's
So 5.
yeah.
6.
Okay. So when we met you, you might have still been working at the league.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my blog and like career at MLB were kind of parallel throughout the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I blogged officially on its own for 1 year
Okay.
before I started between MLB and Lynn. I guess I just like didn't have enough on my plate, and I was like, guys,
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah. That's great. Okay. So you were there. So what was the decision like to leave like a corporate role at this point? I'm assuming you had like a full-time, setup there. It was your day job,
Yeah.
quote unquote. So
Yeah.
what was it like making that decision and going out and heading into this influencer space like head on?
So it was, I actually started making more money from the blog my second year
Oh, wow.
at MLB.
Wow.
So MLB was always like financially like my side job,
Mm-hmm.
but like obviously took up much more of my time. Like so like the first year I was there like working night shifts, and then after that I got moved into social sponsorship, and I helped like build out that whole team. So like when
great.
Coca-Cola would come in and they have like a league with a league sponsor, but then also like 10 team sponsors, we would like basically come up with social campaigns for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out well because what I was doing like was influencing, and like I knew what was going on Instagram and how we were like using it and what people were doing on Twitter. And so it kind of like worked well that I could cross over. But in 2018, I feel like I was holding on to staying in MLB for like, not like the cloud of it all, but to be like, I can do it all. I can do both.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually doing a restructuring because the league was like all combining under one roof. And I was actually a part of layoffs in 2018. So the decision to leave wasn't actually mine, but I think they kind of knew, and I kind of knew that like it was a time, but I don't think I like, even looking back, I ever would have left on my own. I think I would have just stayed there
Right.
and honestly like been really miserable for a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at the time I was like, my world is crumbling because like so much of my identity was like working at MLB.
Yeah.
But it turned out like such a blessing in disguise because like the next year I took my blog full time, and
Yeah.
like my life changed
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. Like
I
it was meant
know.
to be. Yeah, that's
It's so
good.
true.
Yeah.
I know. And I feel like that little push out the door, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so
Sometimes
hard.
you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
but then
do.
you end up in a better, I don't know,
You
situation.
end up in a better,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly.
literally my life is like so much better, and especially like because it was the end of 2018, so I got married in 2019, and I had the full year to like dedicate to the blog, but then also the wedding, which was like the best.
Yes.
And then 2020 happened, and life as we know it obviously changed.
Yes.
So like I can't imagine having had to work
Right.
like in a physical office like under somebody during all that time.
Yes.
Right.
I know. So true.
And then Lynn would have never started either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Great
So
point.
wait, where did you guys get married again? I feel like I saw.
In Nantucket.
Oh, in
Yes.
Nantucket. Yeah. Which is
Which is
also.
where we met.
Where we met on. You were there we were all there randomly at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
I don't
You
remember.
guys were shooting with like the Julias.
Yes.
Dad
We were. Yeah, we like were at the Lilly Pulitzer
Yeah.
store and we were doing a shoot. But you guys,
Yeah.
were you guys there just on a trip? I think you were with a friend.
Yeah,
with, like-
I think I was there like for an influencer trip.
Yes, okay.
Like the Shop Nantucket had invited us out.
Right.
Which was
Okay,
nice.
so COVID hits. You're newly married. Did you have a Did you have a baby during COVID then?
No.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Okay. Khaki did. That's what
I
I'm
did.
asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was tough, but also it was a little blessing in disguise as well, because it was like
Yeah.
Totally.
a happiness in
No, I
the
didn't
dark.
have anyone to worry about except for myself and my cat, and I was like,
Perfect.
"This is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
life of lux."
Yeah, exactly. Just hang out at home.
Yeah.
So COVID hits, and so tell us about like when you started needle pointing as like, was this a hobby? Was it an interest or what? How did that what was that progression like?
Yeah. So like unofficially, my grandma taught me how to needlepoint when I was young, but like it was like on a plastic canvas, and it was like totally different from what it is today, like what Penny Lynn does. But I actually needlepointed. I first learned how to needlepoint in 2010 in college. It was like a really big thing at University of Kentucky to like have needlepoint belts or to make your boyfriend a belt or like a keychain. It was like very Southern, cool,
Southern,
preppy. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so Southern, like coming from Chicago. I was like, I am like fully immersing myself in the culture here. And so that's like where I picked it up. And then I stopped doing it actually when I moved to New York, because I remember my friend was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, nothing. Like, just away and like didn't touch it again. But I picked it back up in 2018 because I made my fiance a belt. He like bought like a belt from Tuckernuck, and I was like, I can make you that. Like you don't need to buy this.
Yeah.
I was like, I will put my
And they're
blood, sweat, and tears
expensive
into
too.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I like picked it back up, and then I really got into it for our wedding. I like did like a needlepoint ring bearer pillow.
Cute.
And then I like in 2019, like it was starting to like become more popular in like the blogging sphere, and people were like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this? And so I was like, oh, like, let me show you. Cause I had this platform. So I was like, let me, bring my hobbies into the blog side of things, and started posting about it. And I was like, okay, like 2020 after, getting married, like I'm going to dive back in like fully. And then pandemic hit. So the very, very first thing I did was I just stitched my stash. So like I started stitching all the things I had in my like apartment. And I was watching. It was a perfect thing because it got me off my phone and it got me away from the news. And I just like put on like a rom-com and I just stitched. And it was like the perfect like mental health break thing he did. And I just like became re-obsessed. It's like riding a bike. Like you just like literally dive back into it.
Right.
But then during COVID, the like industry as a whole for needlepoint really came to a halt because everything is like overseas. Like the canvas is overseas, is produced overseas. Like there's a lot of different parts, just like any industry, as you guys know, like everything kind of paused. And coincidentally, a lot of needlepoint stores were kind of stuck in like the early 2010s. Like they didn't really have websites. It was mainly like you had to call the order. And I was like, there's nothing I'd rather do less than call somebody to order. I'm like a millennial. I'm like, I'm not picking up that phone.
Right.
And so I remember being like, there has to be a better way. And so because I couldn't get canvases that I liked, I started painting my own. And because there was like no good place to shop, I was like I remember like wanting like a really cute needle minder, which we're doing a collaboration needle minder, but this is actually the very first needle minder that's a little
it's a little basket.
It's so cute.
And this is actually based off my wedding gift from my husband. I remember being like, I need one of these for my own personal stash, but the minimum was like 100. And I was like, I could probably sell 100 of these, like, because I had the blog.
Yeah.
So it kind of like snowballed in that way where I wanted personal stuff. And I was like, I have to kind of
wait, so you went, so you went to the manufacturer and created like the little basket, and they were like, you have to order 100. And this were they overseas also at the time? Like this was.
So it's very scrappy of me. I found somebody on Etsy and I was like, will you make this needle minder for me? And I'm sure she worked with somebody overseas. But she's like, I can sell like 50 of them for you if like I can have rights to the design. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could do it. And then like, if nothing else, it would be the most expensive needle minder I ever purchased. You know, it would just be, I was like, I can do it. And so it literally just kind of snowballed. And so I started painting like a Ralph's coffee cup and like a New David sweater. And people were like, oh my God, I want one. And so I started like painting stuff for other people. And eventually, like by the time I looked up, I like had enough to create a collection. And I was like, let me just get on Shopify. Let me just make like a website. And it became like an obsession of like something I couldn't stop thinking about. And like, so April was like around the idea. And then we launched in September officially.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Wait, so April.
That was very quick.
Yes.
A very quick turnaround.
And so you are not only needle pointing, but you are a painter. You're an artist also.
Yes.
That's
so
cool.
I like was hand painting every single canvas. Like we launched with maybe like 500 canvases, and it literally took me the entire summer to paint them. And I remember we like sold out of everything on the first day, and I was like, well, shit, like
right. Like now we're out of stock.
That took so long.
Yeah, and that took so long. And then you had to send them all out too. Like you had to fulfill the orders.
I'm doing it from my like 1-bedroom apartment in New York City while my husband is working from home.
Yeah.
And And I was like, don't mind me. I'm gonna rearrange some stuff. And there's like boxes of inventory and canvases and paint, and
Oh my
it
gosh.
was a mess.
That's so awesome though.
Yeah,
That's
it was really
huge.
fun.
So then what were
Yeah.
your thoughts next in terms of like scaling? I mean, I hate to use that word, but like
Yeah.
you now know you can sell 500 units, but how do you make them now in a more efficient
Right.
way, right?
Right.
Was that
No,
what
that's
went through
why
your head?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, like what am I? It took me 6 months to like get this ready. Like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And sorry, I keep swearing.
That's all good.
And I was like, I should.
I've sworn on the podcast.
Okay, good. And I literally was like, I have no idea what to do. Like, how do people do this? And so I actually reached out to one of my now very good friends, Morgan, Julia Design. She's a fellow needlepointer. And I remember she came out with like a big stack. She's like, restock. I was like, how are you painting all of these? Like, tell me the insider trick. And she was like, oh, everyone in the industry like outsources their painting. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. I thought we were all doing it. And she's like, well, some people do, but like once you like kind of get to a certain scale, like you can't. And I was like, oh, like say less. And so she gave me the contact, and this guy was actually in White Plains. And my in-laws are in Westchester, which is like White Plains area. Mm-hmm. And so I emailed this guy and I was like, I live in White Plains. I live right next to you. I was like in Midtown. And I was like, let me drop off these canvases. And he was like, no, like we're so backed up. We're closed. Like I can't. And I was like, well, let me just drop off one, just one.
Yeah.
Just like make 10 of them for me.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, fine. Like I literally was just like pestering him, and I showed up. And I had like 5 canvases. I was like, I would like, 200 of each of these. And he never said no, even though that wasn't what we agreed to. But he was like, okay. Yeah. And so I literally just kind of like snuck in.
Yeah.
And
wait,
like,
that's incredible.
It took like probably 6 months to get like the canvases in. But like in the meantime, I was like supplementing with like what I could paint. And I like hired like 2 friends. I call them the Amandas. That like helped me paint as well. So I was also getting my mom to paint, my dad. My husband tried it and he was like, no. So I was like, I was tapping on anybody I could. I was like, please help.
And then at this point, could you get the canvases from overseas? Like, did COVID open up a little bit at that point? Probably.
Yeah. It was just, everything was like really backlogged, but it had started to kind of like trickle in. And I think like, it was so interesting because if you like look at the analytics of like our first like full calendar year, it would be like nothing and a spike for launch because it's like we finally had inventory, and then it would sell out and it'd be like nothing and a spike for launch. Yes. And so I was like, okay, like, I'm having a really fun time, but also like on the other side of it, I'm putting so much time and effort to sell a $50 canvas that takes me, 8 hours. Yep. When on the other side, I'm making, a couple $1,000s from a Instagram video.
Yeah. Right.
And so my dad was like, what are you doing? Yeah. Because I had to almost like not convince them of, I'm going to like take this blog full time, but like, he was like, this is so lucrative and like what you're doing, like you're crushing it. He's like, why are you spending 8 hours a day to make $50?
Right.
It's like, because I love it. Because I'm passionate.
So passionate about it.
Well, also, I think as an entrepreneur, like the minute we as entrepreneurs get something in our head, it becomes an obsession. Yeah. And then you will stop at nothing.
Yes.
To get it done.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, what? Like, what are you doing? What do you mean you want to open a needlepoint store? Like, who are you? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, there's something in me.
Yeah.
And like I saw it through. Obviously, we had no idea it would turn into like what it has.
Right.
And I even like, and I was doing the blog and Penny Linn like at the same time. And it wasn't until after the birth of my first son that I kind of like put the blog to the side.
Yeah.
Like looking back, I was going through like a lot of postpartum stuff and it just like wasn't serving me. Yeah. So you guys know that like the internet is a crazy place.
It is. Yeah.
And so
it can be rough.
Like once I had my son, it was kind of just like I wanted like the protection in that bubble, and I couldn't do that continuing to blog. So I was like, oh, like I'm, making good money. Like I can just kind of step away.
Yeah.
So I started doing like officially full time in 2022.
That's great.
That's amazing.
And we've talked about that too before, that we're so thankful to have a business and like that's the focus. And there is like, I share my kids and stuff, but like there is a line that we feel like during the day, there's some sort of definition between family and the kids and like work, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
I know. We were just chatting about that too. Like it's fun to post every now and then, but mostly it's like more about Dudley Stevens, maybe a happy birthday post every now and then, but more focused on the business. And that's
it's
it.
hard. Yeah. That influencer life is, I give those ladies a lot of credit that
I know.
are out there every day. But I think that's such a inspiring thing to hear too. Like you saw an opportunity and a way to kind of like shift what was going on in your personal life to like accommodate that and still can, make a salary and then, now here we are with your amazing company that you've built. But so take us back also to those like first 1 to 2 years. So you figured out a way to get more product faster, more efficiently. And so wait, where did the name Penny Lynn come first before we also dive into that?
So Lynn was my middle name pre-marriage.
Okay.
I like dropped it and shipped everything around. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
And Penny, I was originally going to name it after my cat, Dixie. But this was like, summer of 2020. I didn't realize that like I named her after the Dixie chicks, and they dropped Dixie, so they're just a chicks. And I didn't like know the history of it all, so I was like, okay, obviously can't like Dixie Lynn out.
Yeah.
My mom helped me brainstorm, and like Penny is like an homage to my grandmother who originally taught me how to needlepoint, and she kind of leaves us like pennies from heaven, and we have like a family game, 6 pennies. So like Penny Lynn like kind of flowed really well.
Yeah. That's so sweet.
And actually, Monica, I think she used to work with you guys. She helped my original branding. Yes.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
great.
Yes, she helped us a ton too. That's awesome. That's so great.
Circle.
Yeah. So when did you bring on your first employee? I guess was that kind of next then? I'm just thinking about like when we first started too. Like you get those pain points and you need help, right?
Yeah. So like definitely the 2 biggest pain points was like needing more help. And it's such a struggle in those first, kind of few years to figure out like, do you invest in people or like do you invest in like X, Y, and Z? Because it's like so scary to pay somebody, because like I wasn't really like making money, like we had the company, but like everything was kind of funneling back in. Like I was taking what I needed to survive basically.
Yep. Right.
And it was like, okay, like it's such a big jump to like pay somebody. But now my biggest thing is like, we're going to pay all the people. Like, like getting help is like, it's so wonderful and like so worth the investment.
Yeah.
Like if you find the right people, like nothing's better. But the 2 big pain points was finding, needing more help. And then also just like making sure that we had inventory. Yeah. Because like we would sell out so often, I got the idea to like kind of start this thing that we call the collective. And I basically reached out to like other designers who kind of came up during the pandemic, who now are going back to their jobs and don't have time to like grow their needlepoint line. And I was like, let me like take it on for you, basically like license it, and like I'll pay the royalty quarterly. And that was basically so I could have more product, because there was only so many designs I could create or so many things I could like make at the time. And so I started bringing in more people to kind of like expand a product offering, because I wasn't like a full store like we are now. Like I wasn't wholesaling, it was just my own design. So I only had like 5 things, but I brought another girl and she had 10, and I brought in someone else and she had 15. And so it's like we had like a little bit more. So those are like the 2 big, I remember, like turning points. So one of them, we brought on Amanda from EC Designs and Jenna from Grand Millennial. But then Amanda also, you guys know Amanda Caldwell, she is like my right hand at Penny Lynn. So she's our VP of growth. And she's
awesome.
been with us. Yeah, she's the best. So we actually met in college at University of Kentucky, and we needlepointed together. And she has like a really extensive retail background. And so I remember when I started Penny Lynn, I was like, what do I price a bag at? Like what here? And so she helped me by painting, and then she helped me. I literally was paying her like, I think like $100 like every 2 weeks, to being like, just help me like do this or do that. And then obviously it's grown so much, and she was like our first official full-time hire. I think in 2023 she like went from like a contractor to
amazing
employee.
I mean, that's not
awesome.
that long ago either. I mean, do you
we
still
just turned 5.
Oh wow, that's
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
But you're right, it is so hard to find good people. So when you find them, you do like it's priceless, right? Like you just want to hug them and pay them. Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. The minute you find that you get help and you're like, oh, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's great. And do you have people handling customer service and everything now too? Like,
so now we have a large team.
Yeah.
We've grown so much over the past, even just like calendar year. So we have 13 full-time people
Wow.
and I think 35 like total. So maybe 24 part-time people. So the part-time people do e-commerce and then help like in the retail store.
That's awesome.
But then we have 3 customer service girls. That is like something I was like, who can I pass this off to?
It's so hard.
Like when we were just talking about like, you know, getting crazy emails and they were like, well, you don't even know. I was like, no, I know. I was there. I was in it for 3 years. Like, that's why I hired you.
I know. I mean,
it's so hard. And it's like your baby, right? Like you take it so personally. You want to please everyone, but you can't. You can't please everyone. So.
I know. We've learned that over 10 years. Like, I think we've grown thick skins.
Yes.
But sometimes you just have to like shrug your shoulders and you're like, okay, we can't please everybody. And I don't know.
Some people are just not happy.
Yeah, exactly. Happy. I know. I almost feel like doing a reel this holiday season and just saying like, be nice to those customer service people anywhere, like at any company. Literally. You know, they're like the front line to like.
Right. And it's someone human behind that computer that you're writing an email to.
It is. It's a person.
That's always the craziest thing when somebody like emails us and then, you know, we reply back and she signs it. She's like, from Emily. And they're like, oh, I didn't realize like this is a real person. She's like, I'm a real person. I have feelings. If you could not feel it, you know, it'd be great.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's so true. So 13 people, 35, and you opened a beautiful store in Rowayton, Connecticut.
Oh my gosh. And when you opened it, let's talk about opening day because our parents live down there and the line out the door was unbelievable.
So my sister-in-law's sister is a needlepointer, and she came up for your opening day from, I think she lives in Long Island. She came up and like, I heard of it through family on this text chain that there was a line.
Yeah. And it's like a sleepy little town in Connecticut, coastal town in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That has like a market and like a deli, it's very cute little coastal town. And then Penny Lynn opens and there's a line out the door. It was amazing. You did awesome.
They literally were like, they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
People were like walking by. And they're like, is Taylor Swift in there? I was like, no, next best thing, Krista. No,
that's great.
It was crazy. I remember my mom was in town for the store opening, and she that morning was like, do you think people are gonna be in line? I was like, no, like no one has ever lined up at a needlepoint store ever. Like that's just not. It's a needlepoint store. Like what do you mean they're gonna line up? She's like, well, I think they're gonna line up, and we made a bet, and I was like, I'll buy you lunch. And we drove up and it was like 2 hours before we opened the doors and there was like 15 people in line. I was like,
oh my gosh, 2 hours.
What?
Yeah. Why? Oh my gosh.
For me? Yeah. And so by the time we opened, the line, so we opened at 10 and the line was about 2 hours long for the entire day until around like 1 or 2.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And I remember like, thank you. Because I remember talking to the fire marshal because we had to like, you know, do all of our inspections. And I was like, just so you know, like we might be expecting a bunch of people, like where can they park? And he goes, oh, don't worry about it. There's like plenty of like, there's a free lot that's never been full. And he like came over like 15 minutes before we launched. She's like, I opened 3 more lots for you, like over by the school and over by the library and over by the park. And he was just like, he's like, you can only have so many people at a time. I was like, I know, I told you, like we were expecting some people. I didn't expect this much. But Rowayton was like, what just happened?
Yeah. Well, our parents live there and I think people are excited. It's like bringing in business too for the other businesses, you know, like the coffee shops and the little stores, the art, you know, there's galleries. I don't know. I just think it's good for a community.
Yeah. Totally.
To have that. So,
there's such like a large, it's such a small street that there's like such a large presence of our store, like our storefront. So I think having it empty was definitely like a big kind of eyesore. And so I'm sure when we came in, they're like, what do you mean needlepoint? Like, what's that? And then, so now we've just like really brought, I think, a lot of people to the area, which I'm excited by.
It's great.
Brought some life.
Yeah, exactly. And awesome. I think that needlepointing really fits in with the Rowayton vibe.
Yes.
It's not like you're bringing in something that you know, I feel like the local community, it was an artist community originally. Like it has that vibe to it. So I think it just feels right there, like the whole setup. How did you guys find it? Like, did you know of Rowayton and then you saw the storefront and everything, or what was that process like?
Yeah, so we had been looking for a storefront for about a year. And we were mainly looking in Westport because that's where I am. And I was like, want to be close to home, close to school, all this stuff. And we had gotten pretty close on a couple of different spaces in Westport, and they just kept not panning out. And so I remember I went on LoopNet, and I have the place in Westport, and I like clicked out one and it zoomed out, and this little itty bitty dot and like this random place like on the water popped up, and it was like 3,000 square feet, like total like blank space with a huge basement. And I was like, say less.
Yeah.
And so I over and I had been to Rowayton just like a few times. Like there's you come here to eat, but like there wasn't like a lot. Like we would like come and like walk around. So it wasn't like I had been as much as like I go shopping in New Canaan or something like that.
Yep.
And so we like saw the space, and I was like, yeah. And he showed me the basement. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we literally like signed a lease like next week.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well because before this there was a kids clothing store, Classic Prep. So they had it like perfectly kind of set up for like retail on the front and like their e-commerce in the back. And I was like, this couldn't be better.
Yeah.
And it had a huge basement, and it was like serendipitous, and it worked perfectly. And the space was so perfect that I was like, I will travel 20 minutes outside of my radius to get there.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a great place to travel to work too, because you kind of feel like you're on vacation a little bit when you're there.
That's so true.
Well, I have to show you guys my view. Literally.
Oh, yep.
So jealous. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll drive.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I was like, it's worth it. It's nice. It's great.
That's so great. So tell us about so here we are with your store and this amazing company that you're growing. What's your day-to-day like? Like, what do you, is it different every day? I mean, I think our days are different every day, and I prefer it that way, but do you have a routine? Do you with your team, do you feel like you're probably managing people a lot now too, which, is a different role. I find as entrepreneurs, like we find ourselves in these different roles, and where you didn't see you'd end up, back in this like more traditional role that we left.
Right.
Right.
Oh, wait. So tell us about your day to day and just what you're working on with Penny Linn.
Yeah, so it's definitely, I keep what I love and I hand off what I'm like not good at.
Amazing.
So
sounds about
yeah.
right.
So like I'm not packing orders anymore. I'm not in customer service, which I'm like really grateful, but I still run all of our social media. I still create all of our products, but now we have like a product developer. So like I have the idea and she like executes it. And so like the execution is like not where I'm the ideas lady.
Yeah.
So it's like so nice to do that. So every day is like a little different. I also like struggle. I just had my second son, so he's 6 months, and my husband goes into the city for work. Thanks. And so I'm in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then like sometimes Tuesdays, Thursdays when I'm not with the boys, like when I have help at home.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of managing people, like you said, a lot of just kind of like overseeing the team to be like, okay, like Amanda, where are we with collaborations and licensing? And like Emily, how are we with the site and customer service and kind of checking in? I still do all of the ordering. It's like everything that we offer on Penny Linn is like curated by me.
Yep.
But then I have somebody else, I'm like, okay, order, X number of these, and they go off and do it. So it's, I'm just like I'm the last decision.
Yeah.
But with everything happening underneath me, I guess that's like the best way. I don't know. I was like, I do a lot, but also like I don't do like a lot. Everybody. So
well,
it's that perfect balance.
I think as like running a company, like you have to leave time like for ideas and creativity and all of that. And so it sounds like you have a great team that allows you to like stay in that creative mindset. And also it sounds like from your blogging and influencing, like you're really good at merchandising, which is a skill that like I don't think I'm very good at. Like when we started this company, it was like, oh, you also have to know how to merch stuff on a site and like pull it together and buy it and plan it out and
like curate it all. And
exactly. So I think as an influencer, like you learn how to do that, right? Like, and now you know what your customer wants and what everyone's looking for. It's not an easy
Yeah.
thing to
And
do.
it definitely like, no. And in terms of like influencing kind of really affecting Penny Lynn, it's promoting a brand. So like I have been promoting myself online and my brand for 15 years. And so kind of switching that over to Penny Lynn, it was pretty easy, like because I'd already done it before. I technically had done it twice, like with MLB and then with the blog. So I knew kind of how to build a brand, and I knew as a consumer like what I wanted to see and how I wanted to shop and what I wanted to shop for. And so it's all come really easy and naturally. That's like one of the last things I'm actually having a hard time like getting off my plate is that like running our socials. Like I shouldn't be like posting every single Instagram post, but like I'm so particular about it that like I haven't found anybody who has like the knowledge or the 15 years of experience in social.
It's like in your brain. Like, how do you get that?
Yeah.
How do you find that? I know. I don't know the
Right.
answer to that.
Yeah.
We have a great social media girl if you want to meet with her, though.
Yeah.
I also feel like you do such a good job engaging with the community too.
Yes.
Like on TikTok, you do those like investor chats and stuff where you're like asking them about topics, which I love because we talk about how like we don't want to take on any money or anything, and you're like asking your customers like they're your investors, right?
Oh,
Which I love.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, we call it the shareholder meeting.
Yes.
So like the non-voting shareholders, everyone come to the table and like tell me like what you think. And people love it. They love like the behind the scenes. They love feeling a part of the brand and kind of like having that like peek behind the curtain. Even some of our employees are like, oh, like I didn't know we were doing that. And I'm like, yeah, like because you know, sometimes people are part-time in the office and we can't keep them up to date as much as like we want to.
Yeah.
But it's cool to like let people in. And obviously there's a fine balance of like not saying everything, because I would love to come on here and be like, guys, listen, like this is what's actually going on. But like you have to be particular on what you share. Same thing with like blogging. It was like there's a line somewhere that needs to be there, and so I share what I can and like things I think people will be interested in instead of being like, my landlord today like told me this and this about my boiler. Like they don't care about it.
Yeah. So true. It's like the behind the scenes, but not all the things.
Not all the things. Yeah.
Right.
It's so true. So last question, like if you have one, and sometimes I hate this question when people ask us, like, what's your long-term vision or what do you hope for Penny Lynn? Like, where do you see it now today? I know as entrepreneurs for us it changes a lot, but where are you at now with where you want to take the company?
Yeah, I am just having so much fun. Like I love what I do, and I think it's like it's just like really joyful. Like we come here, we say this is like the happy place, like we're surrounded by beautiful things, and a big thing this past year is kind of bringing that to our customers, like with the opening of our store, bringing the online in person. And so I've been like thinking and playing around with like expanding that. Obviously, like as you guys know, e-commerce is like where the money is, and retail is a lot more expensive. But we've shown that like retail has really kind of made an online experience immersive. So
and brings in more people. Yeah.
So we're thinking about opening a second store, but just like the general goal for Penny Lynn is like, I want to be the first suggestion when people think about needlepoint, when they're like, oh, you should start needlepointing, when they find it online, when like, I want to be like the suggestion from a friend, from your mom, from your sister. I want to be the first thing you think about like in the needlepoint world. Like if Dudley Stevens wants to create a needlepoint line, I want them to think of Penny Lynn. So that's just kind of like my goal is to be like the go-to person in needlepoint.
Yeah. That's great.
And I think we're on our way.
I do too.
That's so exciting.
Household name.
Yeah.
On the way to, if it's not already. I feel like I see it everywhere, and it's really great. So our collaboration will be launching soon, or maybe it's whenever this episode goes live. We're not sure yet. But will you tell like our audience and our followers too what our collaboration is? And we can chime in too, but just explain and we're really excited about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We're so happy because obviously, like you guys know, I have been a Dudley Stevens fan for many, many moons. And I have like all the iterations of all the original. Like this is like I think the OG style.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my gosh, it is.
made it longer.
Yeah.
So I know all this stuff. So we were talking about like partnerships for this year to like that really makes sense for us as a brand. And we all literally our uniform is like Dudley Stevens in the office. And so we're like, it'd be so cute to have a canvas collaboration. So we created 2 canvases, one of like the traditional park slope turtleneck, and then a keychain, which is really great for beginners, of the famous pineapple. And then we did 2 correlating needle minders as well. And we're hoping to do, I think, some kind of like in-store event or some kind of like class, especially for the 2 of you. So you guys,
I want to do. I want to learn.
Mom wants to learn too, so I think the class we need to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the keychain.
So, yes. So we just got proofs of them like I think last week, and they look so good. The needle minders are in. I don't have them on my desk because we have to like hide them. So people are literally like, I'm gonna take this. I was like, no, we have to launch it first. But the collaboration is so cute, and we're hoping that like if it does well, we can like continue to expand the line and work with you guys. It's just been so fun, and like our brands like align so well with each other that I think it just makes sense.
I agree.
We're so excited,
and we'll sell them on our site too, and so it'll be everywhere.
Yes. We're so excited.
Well, just tell everybody where to find you. I think people might know, but just your website and Instagram and everything.
Yeah. So website is pennylyn.com. On Instagram and TikTok, it's Pennylyn Designs. And then we're in Rowayton, 161 Rowayton Avenue.
Nice.
If you're in the area. Only a 15-minute walk from the train.
Yeah, I love it.
Amazing.
City,
And you can go and eat at Rowayton Market or sales across the street and have lunch and shop.
There's so much good food here.
Yes, and Arden's.
That's all I do. That's all I do is eat.
You go to work. That's what my husband always says. He's like, I love working the city for the food. I'm like, I'm like, if whatever makes you feel better about commuting, like it's all good. Yeah, but it's all about the food. Anyway, well, thank you so much for taking the time today.
This was so fun.
Thanks for your patience with the tech difficulties.
I know, really.
In the beginning.
I'm here. It worked out perfectly.
I know, and we're so excited to collaborate. I think our customer base from both ends is going to really love everything. So, and I can't wait to needlepoint.
I know.
I think I might really like it. Like
I think so too.
No, you're going to.
Yeah,
I'm excited to put down my phone and pick up a needlepoint.
Yeah, and my daughter is like super crafty.
Oh,
so
she's gonna love it.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't know how young you can do it. I don't know. Lots of questions.
We have kids kits.
Okay. See, there you go.
Yeah.
So I might need to invest in that too while I'm learning.
Yes.
Come on in.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you, Krista.
Thanks so much,
Thank you so
Krista.
much. And everyone look out for our collab coming soon.
Yes. Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.